Hello everyone and welcome back to the thrilling Wasteland adventures of Old Man McRib. In the first Old Man McRib series, we took on the entire Wastelanders questline and made all the evil choices we could, killing as many NPCs as we could, and of course, eating them. And that's exactly what we're going to do with the new Steel Dawn questline, and see if we can have any fun with that. I know there's at least a few places along the line that we're going to be able to do some interesting stuff. Remember, if you like videos like this one, be sure to go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss out on any future episodes or any of the other Fallout 76 content I upload every week on the channel. It also helps boost visibility if you hit the like button and leave comments. So if you're having fun with this series, go ahead and do that too. All right, let's get into it. First off, I've made a few changes this time around. In the first Old Man McRib series, I tried to go without armor, without legendary weapons or mutations as kind of a challenge, and I'll be honest, trying to live without all those things was really just more of a hassle than a challenge, so I'm doing away with those limitations entirely. Primary weapons will still be walking canes and a pump-action shotgun because that just fits Old Man McRib very well, and he's still going to run around in a bathrobe most of the time, but there's no reason I can't do a few things to keep myself alive and do a little more damage along the way, as some of these Steel Dawn quests are a bit more challenging than what we faced in Wastelanders. So basically, we're going to look the same as we did before, but now legendary effects, armor with legendary effects, and mutations are going to be fine. I'm still in the process of tweaking the build to accommodate all that, but let's take a minute and show and talk a little bit about what I'm running at the moment. First things first, we'll look at mutations. Right now I've just got 3. Adrenal Reaction, which is going to give me more damage as my health drops. I'm not going to run a bloodied build, but being able to do a little more damage if I get myself into trouble seems like a smart move. Scaly Skin is going to give me a little more damage and energy resistance. And Twisted Muscles is going to boost my melee damage and give me an increased chance to cripple. Eventually, I will add Marsupial and Bird Bones here, but I don't want to do that until I have Class Freak maxed out, and that's going to take a few more levels. On a low intelligence character like Old Man McRib, it takes a minute to level up, so we'll get there, but for now, we'll roll with what we've got. And the turret took care of whatever it was that was trying to eat me, so now we'll take a look at legendary perks. We start with Brawling Chemist. That's going to give me a combat enhancing chem basically every hour. That's a beneficial thing to have when you have a character that's kind of not doing a whole lot of damage, so the chem does boost your melee damage and it boosts your damage resistance, so it's pretty useful. And if I find myself in some tight spots, I'll definitely take advantage of that. What Rads is basically going to render radiation not a problem. So if I was running Old Man McRib as a bloodied build, I wouldn't use that perk, but I'm not. So getting rid of those Rads is fine. That also pairs up nicely with Cannibal because it gets rid of any radiation I get from eating corpses. Next, we've got Legendary Perception and Endurance. That's going to allow me to take some extra perks in those categories. Survival Shortcut is going to generate a survival aiding chem every 30 minutes that basically fills my health bar, gets rid of diseases, fills my food and water meter. And I like that perk on a character like Old Man McRib because he doesn't have good stuff. So getting those perks from being well fed is good. More importantly than that, I don't farm anything with Old Man McRib. So I often don't have a lot of food and water laying around. So a perk like that kind of helps alleviate some of those shortcomings. Last up, I've got Legendary Luck, so I can take some more points in luck. That's going to help me with the perks that I need to keep mutations and reduce their negative effect. Now we'll take a look at the regular perks and the special allocation. And for those who are familiar with my weapon videos, this is not something I'm going to do in every Old Man McRib video. I just want to go over this at the beginning of the series so people can kind of see what we're working with a little bit. You'll see we've got Strength maxed out with Gladiator maxed out because we use that walking cane, Incisor to help penetrate some armor, and Martial Artist so we can swing that walking cane faster. Under perception, I took some points in rifleman as kind of a backup weapon with concentrated fire, which I also use with my shotguns. Yeah, it turns out rifleman, not super useful for this character, so some of that will probably shift around a little bit. Doesn't make a ton of sense to keep perks in a category that I'm not using, so we'll move on to endurance. Right now, I've still got that really high because previously I was going without armor, so I wanted to have as much HP as possible. That's less of an issue now that I'm going to start wearing armor, and I need some of those points elsewhere. But for now, I've got Ghoulish, which is going to help, again, alleviate radiation and restore some health. Adamantium Skeleton's going to keep me from getting crippled. Cannibal is huge. That lets me eat my kills to restore my health and fill my hunger meter, and it's just cool because Old Man McRib is a cannibal. We've got Chem Resistance, so I don't get addicted to things, which not really that much of an issue. I don't do a lot of chems. I thought I would, but I really don't. And then Fireproof, so I take less damage from explosions and flames. Eventually, I will have some form of dense chest armor that will alleviate the need for that, but for now, it's still there. Under Charisma, I've got Lone Wanderer maxed out because Old Man McRib is a lone wanderer. He's always alone. We're never playing on a team. I know there are benefits to that, but that just doesn't fit the character. He is a lone wanderer. He hates everybody, and we're going to see that as the series goes on. Under Intelligence, that's very low. I want to make sure I have 3 points so I can swap repair perks in and out. But other than that, might as well keep Gunsmith on there so shotgun breaks a little slower. Agility's maxed out at 15 so we can take advantage of some sneak perks and get a little bit of adrenaline. I want to make sure I have Enforcer so I can cripple things with my shotgun. Even though it's not necessarily a high damage weapon for this character, it does come in handy. Born Survivor saves me every now and again. Sneak keeps me nice and stealthy. Escape Artist helps me get in and out of trouble, which is good. And then under Luck, we have Bloody Mess for extra damage, and I've got Starch Genes so I can keep my mutations. Eventually, a few more levels, I'll be able to put Class Freak on there and take some more mutations yet. But for now, this is what we're rolling with, and honestly, none of it really matters today because the first quest in Steel Dawn is all talking. And yeah, so if you want to see some action, well, you know, you got some in the intro. But for now, we're going to have as much fun as we can with it, and then we'll move into the tougher stuff next week. To get the quest started, we'll need to open our Pip-Boy and look in the radio for the Brotherhood of Steel welcome broadcast.
Attention, people of Appalachia. This is Paladin Rahmani of the Brotherhood of Steel, broadcasting from Fort Atlas. You are no longer facing the Wasteland alone. The Brotherhood has returned. Our mission is to help you lead a better, safer life, free from the dangers left behind in the wake of the Great War. If you require aid, or if you wish to join us in our mission, find us at Fort Atlas. A new dawn is here for Appalachia. Join us in building the future. Rahmani out.
Well, despite Old Man McRib not really being a fan of the whole building a future and helping people routine, he's gonna head to Fort Atlas and find out what this is all about. But on the way, we run into a Blood Eagle camp. Never one to pass up a free meal. Old Man McRib's gonna head on in and see how much trouble he can get into. See how this new build works out. Still fairly weak, but staying alive. Nothing too crazy. Build up adrenaline a little bit. That'll help. And there goes Chally the Moo Moo. So Graham must be around here somewhere. That must be who they were fighting with. Okay, and you're shooting me. Stop shooting me. I don't like it when you shoot me. Anybody else? You want some too? I got some for you too. All right. Anybody else hanging around here? Still in caution. Maybe another Blood Eagle. There we go. How you doing? You having a good day? Not for long. Okay. Anybody else left alive? I don't think so. I think we're all clear. Yep, looks pretty good. And moving back up the road toward Fort Atlas, I'm realizing that I forgot to eat any of those Blood Eagles, and for that I apologize. The cannibalism is half the fun of an Old Man McRib video, and I'm sure we'll have some more opportunities in the future. As we approach Fort Atlas, which was formerly the Atlas Observatory before Steel Dawn, we complete the quest Welcome to the Neighborhood, and will soon be introduced to a new one, Forging Trust. And with Forging Trust, we're going to need to go meet the Brotherhood who have come to Appalachia, and we'll start by talking to Russell Dorsey, who we might have met previously during some of the community events where we were donating things to the Brotherhood of Steel. Let's see how he's doing now that the Brotherhood have come back to town.
Hello, Russell Dorsey, Brotherhood Initiate. Welcome to Fort Atlas.
Yeah, why don't you tell me a little more about this Brotherhood?
Formerly the Atlas Observatory, now headquarters for the Brotherhood of Steel.
Yeah, I'm gonna need to know a little more than that, buddy. Tell me a little more about the Brotherhood.
Of course. What you want to know?
Well, for starters, how many of the Brotherhood are there? I need to know who's coming around trampling on my lawn.
Pretty sure that's strategic information I'm not supposed to just give out to anybody that asks.
Yeah, I suspected you'd be useless. Well, what else can you tell me about the Brotherhood?
The Brotherhood of Steel is well, I guess you'd call it a military organization. Founded originally out in California around when the bombs fell. We're dedicated to rebuilding society and preserving old technology, keeping the mistakes of the past from being repeated, you know? One of the members from California could tell you more, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna need to talk to one of them, so I guess to progress here, I need to ask you something else.
What do you need?
I want to talk to somebody in charge.
Looking to sign up? Or just curious? Well, either way, I guess it's not me you want to talk to. Most of the fort's off limits to civilians, but if you're interested, Knight Shin's in charge of the new recruits. He's very serious about protocol and security, so you'll have to speak to him first if you want to get anywhere.
So no big surprise there. Russell Dorsey proved to be completely useless in every way. And we'll have to go inside and talk to someone named Knight Shin. When we get inside, we hear an argument.
I have real duties to attend to. The outer perimeter is still unsecured, the provisions aren't properly stowed, and we're awash in hopefuls. I have no time to be babysitting civilians.
Your duties are what I say they are, Knight. Your objections are noted, but this is a direct order from your commanding officer. Help us put on a good face for the local people. We've just moved into their backyard. They're nervous. Show them we mean no harm.
If you insist, Paladin. If there's nothing further, I'll have the completed report on your desk shortly.
I expect nothing less from you. As you were, Shin.
Paladin.
After our eavesdropping is complete, we can follow Knight Shin and begin our conversation.
You had better have a reason for being here. If you're here with a request for the Brotherhood, get in line. I don't have time for you right now.
Okay, tough guy. We haven't been introduced. I'm Old Man McRib, and I'm about to beat you to death with my cane and eat your eyeballs.
Knight Daniel Shin, Brotherhood of Steel, 1st Expeditionary Force. We've got important work to do here, so get to the point.
Were you fighting with that other officer over there?
That was a Brotherhood matter, civilian, and none of your concern. You're trying my patience, so get on with it.
Yeah, that useless guy out front, Russell Dorsey, sent me to talk to you.
Did he? Initiate Dorsey is supposed to be manning his post at the entrance, not acting as my secretary.
You seem pretty tightly wound. Do you ever unclench?
I am not known by my initiates for tolerating foolishness, outsider. Persist in that tone and you will learn how much less I tolerate it from civilians.
Yeah, well, my initiates know that I don't tolerate foolishness either, because my initiates have all been eaten by me. But Russell Dorsey thought I might be able to help you out.
Initiate Dorsey is too trusting, but I can't fault his commitment. Perhaps he sees something in you worth our interest. Are you another aspirant to our order?
Oh, yeah, sure. I definitely want in. I want to be an aspirant to your order.
Wanting isn't enough. And not everyone who shows up looking to join our order is worthy of becoming an initiate. Normally, I'd stick you with the other hopefuls until we decide whether you're worthy. But if you're serious about joining us, you've got good timing. There's something you could do for me that would help the order and demonstrate your qualities as a candidate. We've had a number of civilians show up here at Fort Atlas asking for one thing or another from the Brotherhood. People are afraid, or want something, or are looking to involve us in local squabbles. Civilian outreach is not my specialty. There's too much left to do to secure this facility. If you're really interested in helping, save my time. Interview the petitioners, find out what they want, and report back to me.
Yeah, I don't know about that. What's in it for me?
To be in the Brotherhood is an honor, and a life of service. If that's truly something you want, start here. Perform this duty well, and we can talk about your future.
I'm pretty old, so my future's not going to last that long, so you know what? Fine, I can do it. I'll do the thing you asked me to do.
Do this right. Don't make me regret giving you the opportunity. Conduct yourself properly, and we can consider putting you forward as an initiate candidate.
Well, that was pretty easy. You must be hard up if you'll take an old man in a bathrobe with a walking cane with basically no questions asked. Let's walk back out in the hallway here and talk to the petitioners, starting with Sean Hockman.
You better have something useful to say to me.
You better knock off that attitude. Who do you think you are? I don't even know you. What did I do to you?
I just told you who I am. I already told them that when I got here. Nobody's listening in this place. I came here so that they can make things right, and they won't even listen to me.
Yeah, well, I'm not even in the Brotherhood, so don't take this out on me.
What? Oh, hey, sorry about that. You're right, ain't right me blowing up on you like that. I'm just really wound up, and none of these Brotherhood types are giving me the time of day.
Yeah, well, that tightly wound head case Knight Shin asked me to come talk to you.
Oh, can't even come to me himself? What, he needs to requisition some more armor polish? All right, keep it cool, Sean.
I get to go out and prove my worth.
So, what's he got to say to me?
Just tell old man McRib what the problem is.
The problem is that a couple of these Brotherhood clowns showed up and took a bunch of my stuff at gunpoint. Now, I'm a peaceful man. I really am. I sure wasn't equipped to deal with armed thugs requisitioning the little I've managed to put together for myself. Never understood the Raiders. I like the quiet life. I don't need much, and I need trouble less. But after this, oh, I get it. I came here to give the Brotherhood a chance to make things right. Else maybe I go to Crater and start doing things their way. At least they don't pretend to be the good guys.
Yeah, that's probably pretty true. I'll let Knight Shin know everything, but first, let me ask you something else.
All right. What else did you want?
Are you sure these guys that robbed you were Brotherhood?
Don't blow me off like I'm making this up. These people have a responsibility to fix this. They had the power armor, and they said they were Brotherhood. Sorry I didn't make sure to ask proof when they had me at gunpoint.
Jeez, buddy, if I wanted to blow you off, I wouldn't have spent this much time talking to you. I'm done.
Then tell them, and get them to do something about it.
Don't tell me what to do. I'm the one in charge here, Hockman.
I have my eye.
All right, let's head downstairs and see who else is hanging around to talk to. We've got this interesting doctor character over here in the corner, and his voice is going to sound very familiar to Fallout New Vegas fans.
Yes? Something I can help you with? I am waiting to speak with a Brotherhood representative. I have no interest in small talk with strangers.
Yeah, everybody's got a bad attitude around here. I was going to speak to Knight Shin for you, but if you want to be like that...
Perhaps I spoke too hastily. I can be rather unthinkingly brusque. Dr. Edgar Blackburn, at your service. Are you working with this Knight Shin? What has he said to you?
Well, he asked me to find out what you wanted from the Brotherhood.
I had heard that the Brotherhood possessed advanced technology. As a doctor and a scientist, this was of great interest. My research is always in need of equipment and materials rather difficult to obtain by scavenging and bartering. I came to see if an arrangement could be made, but from what I can see of their operations, they are as yet still in too much disarray. Given the state of my fellow supplicants, I would hypothesize that their needs likely outweigh my own.
I'll mention that in my report. I did have some other questions, though.
Very well. What did you wish to know?
Tell me about your research.
It would be difficult to express it in layman's terms. No offense intended. In essence, I have been studying the illnesses of Appalachia. For too long, people have relied on folk remedies and makeshift medicines. The long-term effects of this environment are concerning. Just because the radiation is survivable does not mean it is safe.
Seems sensible enough. Are you working with Foundation?
Their hygiene standards are better than a lot at Crater, but no. I prefer to work in solitude. One day, perhaps, my research will be of benefit to them and all the other people of Appalachia.
Okay, I think that's all I need to know for now.
Very well, then. Perhaps we can be of assistance to one another, should our paths cross again.
And if you haven't placed that voice yet, I won't keep you waiting. The voice actor's name is Keith Sarabika, who was the voice of Joshua Graham in Fallout New Vegas. And now we'll talk to Art Knapp.
Well, now look at you. You with these Steel brother fellas? I've been waiting a good spell to talk to them.
Oh yeah, have you been waiting long?
Longer than I'd prefer. These Steel types ain't half disorganized right now, it looks like. Heard the news about these fellas and reckoned I'd better go see 'em. Ain't the only one neither, I see.
And what is it that you do, fellow old man?
Farming such as it is. Got a patch ain't barely more than scald. But it's mine, and I manage.
So, Knight Shin asked me to speak with you.
Well, it's about time. I'd like to die of old age waiting on 'em. Name's Art Knapp. So, what's this Knight fella sent you for?
Well, he wants to know what you wanted from the Brotherhood.
A fair trade's what I want. I've heard stories about these Steel types back in the day. They was going around taking things from folks. For the cause, they said. Yeah, like that don't make 'em raiders too. Well, I ain't got much, and I already got to worry about raiders. So, I reckon it's better to make a deal up front. My farm don't produce much, but I got some extra, and I expect they'll have a use for it. In return, I want these Steel boys and girls to keep raiders away from my farm. Heard a lot of noise they was on our side. So, seems fair.
Alright, so you want to see if the Brotherhood wants to run a protection racket and help you out. That sounds about right to me. I'll bring him your offer, Art. Take care.
Fair enough. Can't expect more than that. Thank you. You take care too.
Alright, and after that, we can go talk to Tally Lang, one of the more interesting characters down here.
You looking at some... Hey. Yeah, you. Who do I need to talk to around here? You know, about the guns? You don't look like one of these Brotherhood yahoos. Name's Tally Lang. What's your deal?
Wait a minute. Who are you?
I just told you, dummy. Tally Lang. Just, another chick trying to make it in the Wasteland. You know?
Yeah, I know. So guns, huh? Well, you seem a little anxious. Not that I'm necessarily opposed to that.
Who, me? Nah. Nah. Cool as a cryo grenade, me. Definitely.
Yeah, definitely. Well, Knight Shin sent me to speak with you.
Shin? He the scary guy with the stick up his butt? Alright, shoot.
Yeah, that's a pretty accurate description of Knight Shin. So I take it guns is what you're after then?
Yeah, that's right. Big shiny guns. Now, all the talk in the area is about these Brotherhood folks with their high-tech toys, and I thought, Tally, you gotta get some of that. For self-defense, of course. Just so me and some of my poor, innocent friends can protect ourselves from all the nasty folks out there.
Uh-huh, okay. I'll be sure to tell that to Knight Shin. I wanted to ask you some other things first, though.
Why not? Hit me.
Be honest with me, Tally. Why do you want those guns?
Hey, you calling me a liar? I mean, I already told you. My friends and I just need them for self-defense. We'll pay good caps.
Yeah, you wouldn't happen to be a raider now, would you? Not that I necessarily have a problem with that.
What? Me? A raider? No. A little old me? Don't be silly.
So tell me your story, Tally. I'm sure it will be very believable.
Oh, I'm just a poor country girl, you know? Parents died ages ago, so it's just me and a few friends trying to make our way in the world. It's pretty scary out there. Just a bunch of orphans helping each other out. We're practically just kids. Had to grow up on our own. We'd sure feel a lot safer with some of those high-tech guns these Brotherhood have to scare off all the maniacs out there.
Well, you're lucky you found me, Tally, because I don't care who you kill with these guns. We're done for now.
Yeah, whatever.
And after interviewing all of these people, we can go back and talk to Knight Shin, who will be in just as chipper a mood as he ever is.
Have you finished the task I gave you?
Yes, I've spoken to the petitioners and I'm ready to report.
Good. Let's get this done. I have the list from their arrival. Give me the high-level overview.
Well, to start with, Tally Lang wants to buy some guns from you.
No. We are not arms dealers.
Why not? You got guns. Are you allergic to money? Besides that, her and her friends could really use the protection.
Listen to me. The Brotherhood is not in the business of arming civilians. End of discussion. Moving on.
Joshua Graham, or Dr. Blackburn, was looking for supplies for his research.
The Brotherhood is not a charity, and our mission does not cover providing civilians with equipment to pursue their personal interests, unless the doctor intends to provide that research to the Brotherhood exclusively, and under our supervision, he will get nothing.
Yeah, he was light on the details anyway. Besides, all he's going to do is maybe help people and keep them alive, and I can't see really any benefit to that whatsoever, so screw him, let's move on.
Then, he can peddle his snake oil somewhere else. The Wasteland is full of people claiming to be scientists or doctors. They are rarely either, and usually cause more harm than good. Next report.
Art Knapp wants to trade a share of his crops for protection from raiders.
We are not mercenaries here to serve as guards for anyone with some goods to trade in payment.
Yeah, sounds about right. The raiders are his problem. I wouldn't get involved.
I agree. It's bad tactics to involve ourselves in outside disputes. We have enough to do here. Enough about that. What's next?
Well, the last one is Sean Hockman, and he says he was robbed by people claiming to be the Brotherhood.
Impossible. Whatever happened, it was not us.
Well, if you didn't do it, then it's not your problem. And if you did do it, then, well, it's still not your problem because it wouldn't make any sense to admit to it.
That is correct. One civilian's anger does not dictate the Brotherhood's actions. I will be reminding the Paladin of this fact in my report. That's everything.
Fort Atlas is in good
Against
shape.
my initial
Shin
judgment,
trained as well.
you have shown that you can take orders and make yourself useful for the Brotherhood. You need to lose those soft civilian instincts, but I will make note of your assistance in my report to Paladin Rahmani. Should you wish to join our ranks, I will not oppose your enlistment. I grant you permission, provisionally, to enter the compound proper. Go to our scribe Valdez. You will need her support as well if you want Paladin Rahmani's attention.
Are you really giving me another order? This whole being in the Brotherhood of Steel thing is a whole lot less fun than it was cracked up to be.
Orders and duty are the lifeblood of the Brotherhood. You are not yet one of us. Consider it a suggestion.
All right, and just to be clear, are you really not going to help any of these people? Not that I have a problem with that.
What I am going to do is make the recommendations I see fit in my report to Paladin Rahmani. As the commanding officer, the final decisions will be hers. And your concern in the matter ends here.
Yeah, if we're being honest with each other, my concern in the matter never actually began. I'll go do that thing you told me to do before.
Be vigilant, outsider.
So he wants me to go talk to Scribe Valdez, which is what we're going to do in the next episode. We'll do her quest, but before we get there, let's go follow up with these petitioners and see if they have anything interesting to say after we crush all their dreams.
Well, I hope you convince the Brotherhood to make good.
Yeah, Shin says the Brotherhood didn't do it, so I don't see how they owe you anything, and honestly, I don't care about you in any way whatsoever.
Are you kidding me? I get robbed by people using their name, and you just believe anything they tell you? I don't even know why I even bother with you. Get out of my face, and stay away from me in the future.
Back again, huh? You talked to that military fella upstairs?
Oh, welcome to Old Man McRib's parade of disappointment. Yes, I talked to him and I recommended they stay out of it and leave you to yourself.
Why would you do a thing like that? I cross you somewhere I don't remember. Got enough problems at my age. I ain't need strangers going out of their way just to make things worse. Well, now you done your damage. Get, I'm done with you.
Yes? Did you need something else?
Well, I don't think you're going to be as angry with me as the last two, but I couldn't recommend that the Brotherhood aid your research.
No matter. I did tell you not to bother. Still, I regret that I have not convinced you of the import of my work. Should we ever meet again, perhaps I can remedy that. I will be leaving shortly. Take care. The Wasteland holds many dangers. Keep your wits and your health about you. Farewell.
Hey, got something for little old me? What's the word from the big bad Brotherhood, huh? You butter 'em up for me and my friends? Lots of pew 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 for Tally, lasers and plasma and all that?
And what? You want me to spoil the surprise? I don't think so, Tally.
Yes, duh. Never mind. Not like I'm gonna force it out of you with all these tin soldiers clanking around. Seems like you don't entirely suck, unlike these dopes. Nice change of pace. Stay frosty out there.
I agree with you, Tally. I definitely don't entirely suck. Although those last people we met probably disagree. Now, as we explore the facility a little bit, we overhear someone talking about some kids that they picked up along the road.
Hope those kids we picked up are doing okay. What were their names again? Started with an M.
And with that, we start a new miscellaneous quest that just says find the kids in Fort Atlas. So we can find them and have a conversation with them, rather than do this as its own separate episode because it's a very short quest. We're just going to go do that right now and go talk to these kids before we wrap up this episode. We find them hanging out in a kitchen/cafeteria area, and we can start by talking to the older of the two, Marcia Leone.
I don't have anything to say to you or anyone else.
Why are you so rude? That's supposed to be my job.
I'm sure you wouldn't be too thrilled to talk to anyone if both your parents were dead and you were stuck with the people who caused it.
You know, Old Man McRib is very, very old. His parents are, in fact, probably dead. But, how did the Brotherhood of Steel cause your parents' deaths?
I really don't want to talk about it. Just watch out. The Brotherhood can be reckless, and they justify it with some bullshit savior complex.
You know, I don't have a problem with the reckless, but I do have a problem with the bullshit savior complex. I don't like the Brotherhood of Steel very much either.
Congratulations on not being naive like Max over here. Maybe there's hope for you yet.
Hope? No. I just assume the worst about everyone and it justifies my terrible actions. Why don't you just leave?
I would if I could, but Max refuses and I can't just leave him behind. We're all that we've got left. Hopefully he'll come to his senses and stop his blind hero worship.
Yeah, maybe that'll happen, but probably not. Let's talk about something else.
Let's not.
I imagine if Old Man McRib had a kid, she'd be a lot like this girl. Why don't you just go join the Raiders?
You know what? I just might.
And I'm a creepy old man in a bathrobe with no charisma, so I've got to go.
Good.
All right, and that wouldn't have been true anyway. I'm sure Old Man McRib is not, in fact, a good listener. But now we can go talk to her brother, Maximo Leone.
Do you want to play the Armor Ace board game with me?
No. I've already played the Armor Ace board game. It took a couple of months, and by the end of it, I was a little burnt out. Why don't you tell me about you?
Oh, well, my name is Maximo. You can call me Max, though, for short. My big sister Marcia and I live here now with the Brotherhood. Isn't that cool?
I guess I pronounced her name wrong, but that's beside the point. Why do you live with the Brotherhood of Steel?
Well, the town we lived in got attacked by raiders and our mother was killed. But luckily, the Brotherhood of Steel was there and they saved us. Since we didn't really have anyone anymore, Paladin Rahmani had us come along with them. I can't wait to become a member and fight off bad guys like they do. I'll make sure no one ever has to die again.
Well, any autocratic regime will tell you if you want loyalty, convert them when they're young. What's so great about the Brotherhood anyway?
They're heroes! The Brotherhood is gonna save humanity and help make the world a better place. They saved my sister and me and a bunch of other people along the way. Plus, the power armor they get to wear is so cool!
This kid has been drinking a lot of the irradiated Kool-Aid. So, yeah, do you like living in Fort Atlas? I'm guessing you do because you're pretty enthusiastic about everything.
Oh yeah! It's a lot of fun living in the Brotherhood of Steel base. I kinda wish there were more kids my age to play with, but it's okay. The less distractions from my training, the better. I'm gonna become the best Brotherhood of Steel member that Paladin Rahmani has ever seen.
Okay then, let's talk about something else, kid.
Whatever you want. It's fun talking with you.
Yeah, then you are easily entertained. Let's talk more about the Brotherhood of Steel members.
Sure, I'd be happy to talk about them. I mean, they're my heroes.
Oh yeah? Well, what do you think about Paladin Rahmani? Let me guess, you think she's amazing.
She's the leader of the Brotherhood, and I'm gonna try my best to impress her so that she makes me an initiate one day. It was Paladin Rahmani's idea to let us stay here with them, and I'm so happy that she did.
Wouldn't you rather be in Foundation? And honestly, I'm surprised they didn't dump you there anyway.
No way! I can't get the proper training I need to become a Brotherhood of Steel Knight there. I need the best combat training there is, and that's here. Speaking of, I wonder if Knight Shin is busy right now.
I'm sure he'd love to hear from you, but do you think Paladin Rahmani is a good leader?
Oh, absolutely! She cares a lot about saving people and stopping bad guys. She's a real-life hero.
Okay then, what do you think about Scribe Valdez? I'm sure she's just magical.
Odessa is the best. She's super smart and is always saying stuff that I don't really understand, but I'm gonna study really hard. And sometimes when the others aren't around, we play hide and seek around the fort.
Charming. Why do you call her Odessa instead of Scribe Valdez?
She told me I could because we're friends. Just like how you can call me Max instead of Maximo. Although, when I'm a knight, I would prefer if you called me Knight Max.
Yeah, I'm sure that's gonna happen, kid. Why don't you want to be a scribe?
Nah, I want to be a knight like Shin so I can wear power armor and use cool weapons. If I was to be a scribe, though, I'd want to be just like Odessa.
I am sure you would, kid, but how do you feel about Knight Shin?
Knight Shin is super cool. Have you seen his power armor? He doesn't really talk to me much, but I think it's just because he's super busy doing Brotherhood stuff and fighting bad guys. Plus, he's usually hanging out by the weapons, and I'm not allowed to go near there. I think we're gonna be best friends one day, though.
Oh, this kid has set himself up for disappointment. But let's set him up for some more. I bet Knight Shin would just love it if you asked him a ton of questions.
You think? I want to know all about the Brotherhood of Steel.
Like you already do. I gotta go, kid.
I hope I can see you again soon and we can play.
Well, I think that's enough youthful enthusiasm for Old Man McRib for today. I do think it's interesting that, you know, even with a settlement like Foundation nearby that the Brotherhood clearly knows about, that clearly has at least one kid living in it, that they wouldn't just take these kids and bring them there, that wouldn't be a more suitable environment for them than a military base with dangerous equipment in it. But, you know, as I mentioned, if we want to condition people, if we want to convince them of a certain belief system, the best way to do that is to start when they're young and impressionable. And Max is definitely young and impressionable, and it's rubbing off. Maybe I'm reading too much into it. I don't know. I've honestly never been a big fan of the Brotherhood of Steel. I think they're just a little bit underhanded and suspicious, at least in most of the games. But that does bring us to the end of today's episode. Next week, we'll talk to Scribe Valdez and help her out with a little quest down in the basement and see what else we can learn about the Brotherhood and their plans here in Appalachia. Remember, if you enjoyed this episode, if you want to see more, be sure to go ahead and subscribe, hit the like button, and leave a comment. Commenting is actually pretty effective. You know, this series and these kind of things aren't the most popular things on the channel, so Little extra engagement there if you really enjoy this. Definitely gets its visibility up so a few more people can catch it than might otherwise see it. With that, I'm going to leave you here, and I hope to see you next time. Till then, I'm Fisty McRib.
Stay on your toes. The Wasteland is merciless.